Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor and best-selling author, and we are here to talk about the stock market. We have to talk about the metaverse, and I want to give you my top 5 stocks for the metaverse right now. Obviously, these things can change because the metaverse is relatively new from the investor's lens. So, I'm gonna do something a little bit different than what most people are, and you're gonna learn and see why I'm tailoring this list just a bit, because most people are gonna give you, 5 or 10 metaverse names, and they're up 1,000% left and right. That's cool, right? That's fine. There are a lot of really cheap companies you've never heard of that take off just because they mention the word metaverse. However, the interesting thing is I look at the business strategy on top of all the other things that you should look into for an investment. What that means is I'm not just looking at, is this company in the metaverse? I'm looking at, how are you as a business organized and how could you benefit from this? And what happens if the metaverse doesn't happen in the way that we expected? What if this is overstated? Could this company still survive? What I'm looking for basically is a company that has high growth, that is well organized, but also is diversified. So metaverse is just a part of the game. It ain't the whole game. And that's what I think is really important. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the list. I will see. I have way too many tabs, by the way. I am one of those people that has too many tabs. So I have the list here, and I have a few things that I'll point out with a few of these stocks, and we'll go ahead and get into it. So the first one is Microsoft. Now, before y'all hate me, I'm telling you, Microsoft is not only a metaverse play, it's just a long-term investment period. Microsoft is what I see as the original technology OG. Like, they've been holding it down for quite some time. They're going to keep holding it down for quite some time. But Microsoft is very, very special when it comes to the metaverse. And here's why. Number one, they've got Microsoft Teams. This is one of the products that they highlighted when they had talked about the metaverse. I think it must have been an earnings call or something not too long ago. They showed this really nice video of Microsoft Teams, and you get in, you have your meetings, and you are walking through the office and all that kind of stuff. Cool. That's a part of it. What you might not be thinking about is they've got that. They also have the Microsoft Surface tablets and that entire laptop line, which, you might need that to access the metaverse and other things. But also, don't forget Xbox. Xbox is still out there. A lot of people are looking for metaverse gaming platforms and ways that they can access the metaverse via video games. Xbox is one of those ways that you could do that too. So Microsoft, do not sleep on it. They're up about 34% in the last 6 months, up about 50% in the last year. This is a no-brainer. Like, metaverse or not, I think Microsoft is a no-brainer stock that everybody should own, in my view. Now, I do hold it. I've been holding it for quite some time, and I ain't letting it go. So that's me, right? But the results speak for themselves. So that one's super easy. That's Microsoft. One you might not be thinking about, but you should, is Shopify. Now, before you look at me crazy, yeah, I threw a retail name in there. I did. But it is deeper than what you think about Shopify. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. This is from Kiplinger. We know right now that Shopify helps you to create an online store. Well, they've already made some investments in augmented reality companies. Now, I'll pull this up here in just a second. But basically, they're trying to move into the metaverse, where it's not just you go to a website, you're able to, Shopify just organize all this stuff for you. It's also helping you to try and organize in the metaverse. You are putting on a headset or whatever we're going to use at that point in time and literally walk into a store in virtual reality, augmented reality situations, which is really, really interesting. They're already looking forward to that, which I think is pretty cool. So for example, they made 2 big moves that tie into the metaverse. This is from Kiplinger's. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. One is their acquisition of an AR app called Premiere. So that was one thing that they did. The second is they actually launched an NFT platform. We know that is hot. Non-fungible tokens. That's an entirely different video. But they're experimented with the Chicago Bulls 1991 championship rings. Really interesting. I'm telling you now, Shopify is already a solid company today. But if they're able to pull off this metaverse thing, they're going to be even better. And I think the fact they're already thinking ahead is a really, really important move for them. Shopify, and let me go through these 50 tabs that I have. Shopify is up about 26% in the last 6 months, and about 52%. So right around where Microsoft is in the recent past. So 6 months, 1 year. They're up 30% 6 months, around the 26% in the last 6 months, and then about 52% in the last year. Now I do hold Shopify as well. I don't have it in my long-term holdings. When I say long-term holdings, I mean I ain't never selling. They may move up. They may move up. So that's one of those. Now another one, company you have probably heard of. If you don't own this one at this point, why? But why not? So this one is Nvidia. Come on, man. Nvidia is already up 105% in the last 6 months. 105%. And over the past 1 year, they're up 136%. Nvidia, they are one of the best semiconductor chip manufacturers. When you are making anything technology related in this day and age, you are going to need these semiconductor chips. Where you gonna get them? You got Taiwan Semiconductor, that is one of them. Nvidia, AMD, maybe Intel, and a few others, but Nvidia is the one, right? Nvidia is sending my daughter to college. So just to give you my conviction about the company, I do own shares of Nvidia, as most people should, if you ask me. But again, Metaverse or not, these chips are going to become increasingly important. We've already seen how the shortage has already hurt companies like Tesla and Ford and GM, and that's just cars. We've seen how they have hurt, you could say, Xbox like Microsoft or Sony's PlayStation and other items. Whatever we're trying to do tech space has to go through a company like Nvidia. Therefore, as the metaverse expands, so too does Nvidia. That's a brand new revenue stream, or an increased revenue stream, and increased importance for the company. Don't sleep on that. A lot of people are like, oh, metaverse, but not thinking, what are the things that are needed to create that? That has to be built on top of something. Therefore, a company like Nvidia that already has success, and it's something you don't have to guess about. You don't have to sit here and guess, like, is it solid? Have I heard about the CEO? How does the company operate? You know that already. Nvidia is the way, okay? So that's another company, super easy metaverse play that already has proven statistics. You don't have to, dig in further and really hope and pray. You already know how Nvidia has done, and we have some decent expectations of how they're going to continue to perform should the metaverse be what we think it is. All right, so moving on, we're going to go to Unity Software. I'm sorry, I didn't mention the ticker symbols. Most of you should know. Microsoft, MSFT, Shopify, Shop, SHOP, Nvidia, NVDA, and then Unity Software is just the letter U. So this one is not one that everybody knows, but you should know. I'm going to read this off for you real quick. It's a long explanation. Basically, they are a gaming software company. They were, I don't know if people are still playing this game or not, but Pokemon Go, that really took off in 2017, 18, I think. I was in New York when it happened, and it was a big deal. I don't know if people are still on it. However, they were one of the companies that was behind that wave, and they are the ones that helped to design a lot of the stuff. Let me check something real quick. Just want to double check that. Yes. So they didn't develop the game itself. They developed a lot of technology to create that game, which did use augmented reality. For those that don't know, augmented reality, from a layman's perspective, since I am not the most tech savvy person in the world, where you have reality with things on top of it. So augmented, meaning enhanced, if you will. So you can see your actual couch plus some animation or what have you. So Unity Software enables a lot of that stuff to occur. Again, if you're going to have the metaverse and you're going to have a lot of these AR things, something like Unity Software is a company that is really important. They've already proven they can create something that has viral potential in the case of Pokemon Go and other games they've already helped create. Let me see this as well. Let's see how well they did in a recent past. We've got U, which is their ticker symbol, just the letter U, up 80%. 80% in the last 6 months. And we've got 21% in the last year. So they really shot up in the last 6 months, not so much in the last year. Now I think Unity, it's relatively new. So the newer that it is in terms of a stock market perspective, you're going to see, you're not going to see the same, you may not see the same reliability. Now 20% is nothing to sneeze at. However, the S&P 500 is above that. So do take that into account. But also, if I'm looking at short term, up 80% in the short term, I have to look at that, right? It's definitely something I would do a lot more research on. Whereas, like I'm buying Microsoft, I don't really have to think about it. Unity software is something I would definitely take more time and read into to see how it could make sense for you in your investing strategy. Got it? All right, so next one is, ticker symbol is MTTR, and I don't want to get this name incorrect, so let me double check that. Matterport. MTTR is a ticker symbol there. This is a relatively new name, at least for me, and this one has some traction. Basically, and I'm not going to read this entire thing, they have also a really long description, but they operate as a spatial data company that focuses on digitizing and indexing the built world. Okay. Basically, the way that I interpreted that after reading the entire description, that basically spatial technology is, space. So the distance between myself and my computer, how are they taking that and digitizing that? And this is something that can be used in the metaverse. The way that I interpreted it, and again, if you are a tech person, you got a degree in computer science or whatever, or you can code, feel free to highlight your point in the comments to better explain it than I am about to butcher this. But basically, think of it as I'm taking, let's say, the city of New York, and I am putting that into the metaverse. The way that I understand is that this company helps to do that. I will dig into this more as I read more about them. However, let's talk about how well the company has done, or how well the stock has done, rather. So Matterport is up 231% in the last year. So I'm going backwards now. And in the last 6 months, they're up 134%. That's triple digits, right? That's a little bit better, actually a lot better than something like Nvidia, but it's something that has to catch your eye. There are a lot of institutions that are also eyeing the stock too. The interesting thing too is even with these jumps, which anytime you see these large jumps, you do have to, double take and take a look at. It's up to, per share, it's only $33. So that means if you jumped up 130 some odd percent or 200% in the last year, that means it was relatively cheap not too long ago. This could be an opportunity to get in at what we think could be low. The metaverse is what we think it could be. Maybe this $33 point is something that you will never see again. That is a possibility. However, I would caution you, which is what I am about to do, is dig deep into the archives and the news articles and the company reports to see what they are really doing and how they are doing it. Again, these are relatively new for most of us, and these are some of the names that I'm looking at now. I'm thinking of jumping into. 3 of them I already own. So again, my top 5 right now, and let me go back and just read these off the list. Microsoft, easy. Shopify, easy. Nvidia, easy. Then you've got Unity software, and then you have Matterport. Those last 2 for me are ones that I want to dig more into. We'll probably both. We might actually do both for a cram review, the CRAMM, to really get all the nitty gritty details that we'd like to see and see if it is something that is long-term investment worthy for us. But wanted to give you those are the companies that I would suggest that you go out and research and consider if you're looking for something in the metaverse. 3 of them super easy. The last 2 a little more speculative, but they have that platform, right? I've seen how Unity can work, the stock, how Unity can work in a metaverse capacity. Matterport I haven't seen, but their on-paper description makes sense. I'm not going to invest based on their on-paper description. I want to go and look at the numbers. I've already seen how it's performed, and then I'll make a decision from there. So if you want me to break down those 2 a bit more, let me know. If you've already signed up for cram sessions, this is your last day to do it if you want to use the code CRAMM, C-R-A-M-M, to save an extra $100. And we'll, if y'all want this to be in that review, feel free to let me know, and we can really, really get down into details and decide whether or not those last 2 stocks make sense. All right, that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys later.